Greetings and hello, 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 all the way from Dallas, Texas. My name is Dr. Orobosa Owie, and I'm super excited to be here talking at the STEM and Hills conference. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Josephine for the speaker invitation. I am truly honored. Now, I know this conference is really all about learning the role of women in tech and specifically how you can cultivate and establish your voice in the digital space. And so my presentation today is really dedicated to showing you how to create your own lane and how to thrive in the process boldly. And so before I share a little bit about my background, here are a few words I want you to hold on to. And that is never underestimate the power of small beginnings, as they are the stepping stones that will lead you to your success. The fact that you attended this conference today speaks volumes of who you are as a aspiring or current professional in the field of tech and where you are heading. And today, I hope that my presentation will give you the right tools and resources to continuously cultivate the path that you're on. Now, just a little bit about myself. By God's grace, I have been fortunate to become an author, speaker, professor, and global mentor. I'm also the founder of an organization titled Be Bold Africa. And in this organization, it is a digital mentorship platform for women and girls who are of African descent and residing in multiple countries around the world. And so last year, I was able, myself and my team, to host a 4-day career development conference for women based in Harare, Zimbabwe. So my connection to Zimbabwe is really, really special. And so I am truly honored to be presenting at today's conference. I'm also the author of a book titled Be Bold, Be Confident, Be You, a motivational guidebook for shattering the fear ceiling. And in that book, I share my journey of becoming Dr. Orobosa Owie. The journey really highlights just some of the tools and resources and the blueprint that I use to get to where I am today and still heading, right? Because I'm still very much alive and well. Also, I have over 15 years of experience working on the business side of the healthcare industry. And so I acquired all of my degrees, my bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degree in a field called healthcare administration. And as a result of acquiring all of my degrees, I do now run another organization titled For Health Scholars. And that platform is really dedicated to showing current and aspiring healthcare professionals how to, one, quickly and successfully earn their degrees, and two, how to start, build, and enjoy profitable careers within the business side of the healthcare industry. Prior to that, I did serve as the director for the African Affairs Committee with the United Nations Association for Young Professionals. And in my role there, I was able to cultivate and host events that fostered relationships between Africans based in the US and Africans on the continent. And that is how I met people like Josephine and maybe some of you who are sitting in the room. And also working in that role, it has allowed me to gain quite an amount of recognition from esteemed leaders and academic institutions. And so as a result of my work with the UN group, I was invited by President Obama to the White House to talk about a program which is called the Mandela Washington Young African Leaders Initiative, which many of you may know of. And so I am one of the founding members who were able to sit with President Obama and his special advising team to shape what this program will look like and how the U.S. can cultivate relationships with African professionals on the continent. And as a result of that, I'm also more recently the 2022 Mandela Washington Yali U.S. Participant Award winner. And so myself and in-house rep, which you may be familiar with or know her, Audrey Chinawanka, we were able to cultivate a 4-day career development conference that provide career development resources and contacts and lectures to the participants who attended the event. In that conference, I was able to invite speakers who were women of African descent and doing amazing work. And so once again, my heart loves Zimbabwe. It has a special place with me. And I look forward to continuing cultivating relationships with each and every one of you by connecting from this conference, and etc. So that's a little bit about my journey. But through it all, you may hear all of the successes, and I'm here to tell you how I achieved all of those successes was because I created and operate and still operate in my own lane. And guess what? You can too. And so today, I want to give you 6 tips on how you can create your own lane and boldly thrive in the process. Many people forget the process when they acquire success, but I'm here to tell you the process is the most pivotal and essential aspect of just becoming who you are, especially for those of you who are very much invested and interested in having a solid career in the STEM and tech spaces. So here we go. Tip number 1, get clear on your personal and professional goals. This is very important. There has been so many times that women come up to me and like, okay, how do I do something? And I'm like, okay, all of the things that you're sharing, you don't have a clear vision of your personal and professional aspirations. And it's very important for you to understand who you are, the space that you're currently in, and where you're intending to go. And one thing about creating your own lane is being able to provide the pathway in which, in the direction in which that lane will go. And so one of the ways you do that is by getting clear on your personal and professional goals. Tip number 2 is after you've created your goals and you've become clear on exactly what you want to do and how you want to create influence as a woman in tech, as a woman in STEM, or just whatever respective industry that you're in, now you have to make the decision to move forward in achieving those goals that you set for yourself. Because goals without any form of action are just mere dreams. They're just mere thoughts. It is the action that helps us turn our goals and our visions into reality. So you need to make that decision that, yes, I am going to move forward and working to achieve the goals I have outlined for myself, which leads me to tip number 3, which is to create a smart plan of action. Remember, action is very important to the whole process of turning your goals into reality, creating your lane and thriving in that space. I don't look at what other people are doing. I look at what I want to do. And I create smart plans of action to be able to achieve them. And that's what I'm going to encourage you. And if you don't know what SMART means, I'm using the acronym here. I want you to create a plan of action or plans of actions that are specific, that are measurable, that are attainable/achievable, that are result driven and has some type of time component attached to it. When I say specific, you need to be very intentional on what steps of action that you're going to take to achieve the goals that you have outlined in your reflection and introspection process. Then you're going to measure the results of just taking actions to achieve those goals. You're going to look at the things that you do that have yielded great success, and then you're going to look at the things that have caused challenges and maybe needs to be changed. Then you have to make sure that your plan of action can be achieved. Many people can create plans, but is it achievable? Can you do it in your own capacity with the resources that you have, or do you need to acquire resources? And then result driven. Is your plan of action helping you achieve your goals? Or maybe you have recognized that initially what I planned, because of the steps of action that I have taken, it looks a different way. And because it looks a different way, has now been successful in helping me to get into the next phase of my chapter, or in your case, the next phase of your chapter. Okay. The lane that you're creating yourself, it is as long as your lifespan. And it is going to have curves and bumps along the way. But you need to take the first step to help you get to the end goal, which is to have a job in tech, which is to serve as an influential woman in tech, which can be creating initiatives to help other women and other professionals get into the arena of STEM and tech. Tip number 4, use your fears as a tool to take action. This is a big one. I'm here to tell you that fear is a normal emotion. But what is not normal is when we allow our fears to hold us back from stepping into our greatness. When we allow our fears to hold us back from going after opportunities that can lead us to achieve our goals. You have to be unafraid to say the things that people may not always agree with, but are influential or impactful, or is going to help the next person thrive in this space. So use your fears as a tool to take action. Tip number 5, connect with like-minded professionals and participate in available opportunities. This is a big one. As you have your goals, you need people to help you achieve your goals. We cannot operate in silos. People who are successful, you never hear them say they did it alone. They always had a team of people or someone, a mentor, an advisor, someone who helped pour into them so that they're able to get clarity on the things that they have challenges with and be able to move forward. And attending conferences like these are great stepping stones. As I stated, it takes the small steps to lead to the bigger picture. The next tip: don't worry about what other people would think about you and your goals to thrive in your respective industry, especially in the industry of tech. Tech is, as we know, male dominated. And so, as a woman entering this space or advancing in this space, you may encounter people who are haters. You may encounter people who will disagree with your actions. You may encounter people who are not rooting for you to succeed. But when you are aware of who you are and when you're operating in your lane, nobody can enter it unless you give them permission to do so. Nobody can tell you you can't be a powerhouse individual in the space of tech unless you allow them to do that. So don't let what others say or think about you prevent you from moving towards achieving your goals, which in this case, being landing a job in the tech industry, going to school for some type of technical education, being able to create organizations, entrepreneur. I mean, the list of things that you can do under the tech umbrella, it is vast. But what the quickest thing that will mess you up is allowing people with their negative thoughts and words prevent you from moving forward. And it doesn't always mean that the person who shared something negative with you is saying it intentionally. But this is why you have to be confident in who you are. And this is why you have to be aware that you are operating in your lane. You have no room to look at what somebody else is doing, or you have no room to allow the naysayers into your space. You have a goal, you have goals that you're working towards to achieve, and you're staying the course. That's what it means to operate in your space and boldly thrive within it. Then a bonus tip that I want to tell you is to enjoy the process in its entirety. Remember, the lane is not straightforward all the times. It will have curves, just like any type of road that you go on. You may find that it's going straight for a little bit, then it has a bump or it hits a curve. That's the same thing when you're creating your own professional lane. Your own professional lane may not always be a straightforward process, but you need to enjoy the process for the good and the challenging. And let me give you another perspective about seeing the good and the challenging. When you are experiencing challenging times as you're working toward your goals, those challenges are often there to teach you or to strengthen your knowledge about something. You would be amazed later down the line how, when you overcome those challenges, how you will look back and say, oh, those challenges were not there to hurt me, but to empower me and to help me grow. All the good times are signifying is that what you're doing is working, whether it is investing in your education, whether it's connecting with people, whether it's doing events like this. The good times lets yourself know that all of the actions that you have been doing is working, and you need to hold on to that. That's the bonus tip that I have for you. Many people run from the challenges, but in my growth, and as I have gotten wiser, I know that the challenges are also to be celebrated because those challenges are there to help you grow. We as human beings, we don't grow from spaces that we're comfortable in. As just think about it. For every challenge that you have, and when you overcame those challenges or those challenges have been put behind you, you've learned something new about yourself. You learn something new about your strength. You learn something new about your tenacity. You learn something new about your intellect. You learn something new about people. You learn something new about a given industry or a given thing. The challenges that there are to teach you and to strengthen you. And then my last note to you is to remember this. Your goals and dreams are only impossible until you achieve them. And if you let fear set you back, if you let the naysayers set you back, if you doubt yourself, you will never achieve your goals. Some of the richest people around the world will tell you is that they have failed so many times, but that what kept them going is the goals and the dreams that they have for themselves. What kept them going is when those good times started to come in, it was like, oh, okay, this is working. And that's what I'm here to share with you. And lastly, don't give up. Even when you're encountering challenges in a space of tech, or if you are, especially in this male dominated space, when you're encountering those challenges, when it's not working out the way you planned it, still don't give up if you feel that this is what you have been called to do. You feel that this is a part of your purpose. So once again, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. I also want to share that my book is out and you can grab a copy. It is available on Amazon if you're looking for words of encouragement to help you keep going. It is a motivational guidebook dedicated to empowering you and encouraging you to thrive at your greatest potential. You can connect with me this way. I'm on Instagram at Orobosa_leads, or I'm on LinkedIn, or you can go to my website as well, which is orobosaowie.com. Well, once again, thank you for this opportunity to present to you, and I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you in the future.